and welcome to BlueAirways. On this channel I upload aviation related stuff, so if you like aviation, you should consider subscribing. The SR-71, nicknamed Blackbird, was a legendary aircraft. An aircraft with the capability to fly at Mach 3.2 at an altitude of 85,000 feet. Let's take a look at it. The SR-71 was a strategic reconnaissance aircraft. That is a fancy way of saying a spy aircraft. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird was manufactured by the American company Lockheed. To be exact, it was made by a part of Lockheed called Skunk Works. Skunk Works mostly worked on top secret projects, having worked on the Lockheed F-104 Starfighter and the Lockheed U-2, the Lockheed A-12, and later the Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk, and the Lockheed F-22 Raptor, and a lot more. We will just use the word Lockheed when referring to the aircraft manufacturer. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird was developed in the Cold War and was made to spy on a lot of countries, but mostly the Soviet Union. When Lockheed developed the SR-71 Blackbird, they did not build it from scratch. They used the Lockheed A-12 as a basis. The Lockheed A-12 was also a spy plane that looked very similar to the SR-71. The SR-71 took its first flight on the 22nd of December 1964, though its first introduction with a customer was in January of 1966. I could not find the specific date, but that is okay specific. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird was powered by two Pratt & Whitney J58 turbojet engines. The J58 that was placed on the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird had a spike at the front of the engine. The spike could extend and retract. This was not to look cool. The spike had a purpose. The spike would change airflow at higher speeds. It would slow down the air going through the engine. If it was not there, the engine would act differently and maybe even fail. So the spikes on the engines was necessary. It had actually taken this design feature from the Lockheed A-12. It also had a reduced radar cross-section. This meant that the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird was harder to detect on radar, though this did not mean that it was impossible to detect. Its paint was also special, as it had been designed to reduce the radar cross-section even more. And most people believe that the paint is black, but this is not the case. The plane might be called Blackbird, but it is actually very dark blue. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird had an empty weight of 59,000 pounds and a max weight of 170 pounds. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird could fly 5,926 kilometers without refueling. Note that the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird could refuel several times in a mission, so it could fly a lot farther. Another thing about the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird was that its panels, which it was made of, would get bigger when heated. They would expand. Lockheed knew this and designed the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird to have leaking fuel tanks on the ground. When the plane would get faster and hotter, the panels would expand and stop the leaking. But the leak the plane had on the ground would make fuel levels very low. This meant that after every takeoff, the plane would need to refuel to have enough fuel for the mission. Today, that kind of thing would probably not just be let go. Fuel prices and that kind of stuff. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird was 107 feet and 5 inches long. and 55 feet and 7 inches wide. In meters, that is 32.74 meters long and 16.94 meters wide. That is comparable to the Boeing 737-700 in length, which is 110 feet and 5 inches long. In meters, that is 33.6 meters long. And comparable to the Cessna Caravan in wingspan, which is 52 feet and 1 inch wide. In meters, that is 15.87 meters wide. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird had 3 versions. The first one and the main production variant of the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird was the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird A. Then there were the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird B version, which was the trainer variant. And the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird C version needs a bit of explanation. First, a quick note story about the Lockheed YF-12. The Lockheed YF-12 was also a design based on the Lockheed A-12. It was Lockheed's try to make a fighter out of a spy plane. The program was cancelled. Here's the story of the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird C. In 1966, a Lockheed YF-12A was doing a landing. While landing, something went seriously wrong, and the nose of the plane was damaged beyond repair. They then took the back of the Lockheed YF-12 and the front of a Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird B and put them together to make this hybrid aircraft. I've heard that the plane did not fly totally straight. The plane was nicknamed the Bastard. 32 Lockheed SR-71 Blackbirds were built. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird flew until 1999. The last operator of the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird was NASA. Anyways, that was all for this video. See you in the next video. Bye.